Welcome to the Trading Lounge. I'd love to share with you the trades I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take this small account to $100,000 as a rookie day trader. I don't know how long I'll be able to use the term rookie, probably end of the year, and maybe I'll win Rookie of the Year or something, but rookie day trader for sure. Today I am green. There was a couple stocks that I traded today, CRE and ELAB, for a profit of $41.61. But the cool thing about that today was that I was working on, I've been studying charts, like I record all my trades, and I've been studying them pretty heavily, and I wanted to go in on some things today off some pretty good dips or pullbacks versus waiting for a candle over candle high. And in both of these trades, I accomplished that today, which makes me pretty happy. So kind of accomplished that goal today. So let's go over the trades, and we'll go from there. I don't have my stream deck up, which I normally do, so we'll pull that up real fast. And then that'll allow me to swap between the screens here. Go to the main. Where are you? Where's my main? There it is. Cool. Bring that over just like so. And right here, another one here, Logitech. Over here on the upper right-hand side, you'll see my trades. That is Dash Trader, by the way. My broker is Charles Schwab. Now, today was interesting because I only used a small amount of buying power because I'm in the middle of moving a few things over to Lightspeed for some testing. So I moved some cash, about around half of the buying power from this challenge over to Lightspeed, set up Lightspeed, got approved for an account. So that way on June 4th, Thursday, I can trade without having to worry about the PDT rule. And I also wanted to feel what it was like to be on a direct access broker. So I have my buying power kind of split between two accounts. And today, my Lightspeed wasn't quite set up to be able to make any trades. It's not quite ready. So my goal was to trade my Webull account and trade this account that you see here. And then throughout the morning, if I get time, kind of busy today, but I'm going to try to work on my Lightspeed setup so that I can start trading that as well. So today's trades was on about $1,400 of buying power, and we're up 41 bucks. So CRE. Where are you? I already have it up. Great. This thing hits the scanner. By the way, this is the scanner I'm using over here. This is called Charts Watcher. I have a configuration of this that works really well for you guys coming over from like Day Trade Dash, or if you're a warrior trader and you're trying to save a little bit of money. If you need it, let me know. I'll send you a link. There's no like affiliate code or anything. I'm not making any money off it. It's just a scanner that I really love. And if you've been following along, you'll notice that I am actually using their charts today. It's because my TraderView free trial ended, and I don't want to pay for it right now because I think they're going to have a really good deal here in July. And so I'm using the Charts Watcher charts. And if you notice, I have the real time selected here. Let's see here, right here. Where are you? Come on. Right there. There we go. Real time selected, so real time charts. So I paid for the upgraded subscription so I can have really responsive charts. And I got to be honest with you, today I'm pretty happy with these charts. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next month. I'm pretty wishy-washy with my charts, go back and forth, and it's just the way that I am. But hopefully this thing performs well and I can keep using it. So CRE hits the scanner here. I'll use the 1 minute chart initially at 726. Is that right? CRE? 726. No. Oh, this chart doesn't have the right time. This one does, though. That is so weird. Okay, I'll click this. I forgot how to set the time on these charts. To be honest with you, that's fine. That's fine. I can pretty easy to do the math. So 26. This isn't right. So before 26. This isn't when I went in, though. This is not when I went in. This is not right. Is this the wrong day? Haha. Okay, there we go. I'm like, that's not going to be it. Okay. So there we go. The times are right. Great. So 7:26, I went in here at, I was in this trade for like 9 seconds. It comes up. I think it's this candle right here. Yeah. It comes up to like over 450. It pulls back under 450. I get in at like 444. It pops up to 460 and I get out. Easier to see actually on the 10-second chart on exactly where I did this. And I will expand this out I kind of forgot how to expand the charts on here. I think it might be this one. Yeah. So it happened right here, 426. Yeah. Right here in this zone right here, comes above 150, pops down under 150, somewhere in this range. I get in, it pops up, take a profit. I don't remember if the profit was in this candle or this candle, but this pullback that you see, whether it was, coming down here or coming down here, is what I was buying, kind of this range down in here as it pulled back. I bought that little dip under 450. It went over 450, took my profit, was happy with that trade. And another thing you'll notice here is HTB and SSR. So the stock was hard to borrow on my platform anyway, and it was short sale restriction, which is platform wide, all the platforms. Now it could be short sale restriction. I don't really, the hard to borrow, that could be read differently on different platforms, but I know SSR is market wide. So I like seeing that because it's either not going to be shorted or hard to be shorted or a combination of both, and that made me kind of happy to see. So I was a little more confident going in on those trades. And then the next one was ELAB, which ELAB is a familiar stock. And same thing here. I went in for, what was this? It was at 731.42. I was in this trade for all of 2 seconds. And with a profit of, what would I make on this? $30 in 2 seconds. That's pretty good. So yeah, 207. This was at 731. So it's in this first candle right here, and I got out. Yeah. So within this first candle, and I'll show you the 10-second chart here in a sec. It pops up over. What was it? What was it? It wasn't like it was a pop over 2. Let me take a look. Oh, I popped up to yeah. Let me pull the 10-second chart. This was another dip trade, but it's hard for me to explain on the 1-minute chart because I also need to kind of see what's going on here. It's 726.07 right here. No. 731.40 right here. Yeah, and I was in and out in the same time frame, 731.40. Yeah. So basically, this comes up, this pulls back right here. So it goes up to like 215 or something, pulls back to close to $2. And then as soon as I see this candle kind of open and start to kind of turn green, I got in there. So I was trying to get in, not here. I wanted to be underneath that. So as it came down, I would like to get in a little bit sooner here. But I ended up getting in. What candle I get in at here? 731.40, which is, this candle, yeah. I got in like right in this zone. So still on the pullback, which is nice. It popped up and I got out real quick for a profit. So that's all I was waiting for is basically, I was waiting for a pullback scenario like this, or like this, or like this, or in this case, this candle came all the way down to $2. And then I decided that I was going to take an entry right around in there for a little dip buy. And honestly, this is, for me, these are really good trades. I'm not used to making these kind of trades. Typically what I would do is I would wait for a candle over candle high, so on the 1-minute chart. And that would have worked here too. But ELAB can be risky. It's not a great stock. You don't really want, it's a risky stock to trade. It has a history. So, but anyway, it comes up right here to, we'll call this, what is this? The high of this candle is 218. 218, pulls back. This candle opens, drops back, comes up. So it does go above 218, but then it tops out at like 220 something and just comes right back down to 220. So it was quick. I could have done that for sure, or anticipated it a little bit early, as this candle opened and kind of came up, could have came in here like 218 but I've just kind of started liking to try to learn how to do these little dip buys. So it could have worked here, but then it flushed down, unfortunately, and came down and in here. I didn't want to stay in this too long, to be honest with you, just because of the history of the stock. It just, I didn't want to be in there any longer than I had to be, and I felt like the first 2 minutes was probably going to be the best window, and turns out that ended up being the case, which is great. I do want to show you something. Let me pull it up on, I think I have it on, let's do this. Show you guys a screenshot I took of this stock a little bit later on. So somewhere in like, I don't know, we'll call it, let's go over here. Somewhere in like this, where are you? Somewhere in this zone, I took a picture. And it shows, like if you didn't see this and you saw the stock pop and you wanted to get back in for another entry, it would have been really hard. Where are you at? Pictures, screenshots, and then let's go to the bottom. I was totally came prepared today. This was what was there. I mean, that right there is a, why are you doing this to me? Go here. There we go. That there is a 100,000 share seller at 130. That is a wall of walls. So if you didn't see that, it came on for a couple seconds, maybe like 5 seconds, and then just disappeared. But man, and the price of the stock was at that time was 126. So if you were thinking you're going to break through this 28 and come through this 30, like you're not getting through that. So there was a point where there was a point of no return on this stock. But again, hard to borrow SSR, a little bit of a theme. And I'm like, okay, I got a little theme going. I got 2 wins going with this. So then with the remaining buying power I have on this account, I was like, I want to try to find something that I really, really like that is going to go, that has a chance to kind of go parabolic. Like I want to see big moves, big chunks, big things. And I just didn't really see anything that I was super interested in. TGHL hit the scanner. Let me do this real quick. And you can see I was doing my due diligence. You see a lot of lines marked off on these charts. And TGL started off as I hate that it does that. TGL started off as a penny stock down here at 32 cents. And I'm not a big penny stock guy. And I'm about to move to Lightspeed where I'm going to be paying for a little while, I'll be paying per share. And I don't want to be paying the fees down here at this level. And so not only does it not make sense financially, but it also, my win rate sucks when I do penny stocks. But there was a point at which it went over $1 right in here. Right over here, it went over $1 right here. And I mean, that's a pretty big topping wick. So when I looked at the stock, I didn't find this very interesting to me. Had the right float, but it started out as a penny stock. I thought maybe get in for the break of $1, but these topping tails just didn't attract me very much. I wasn't feeling it. Now, there was a moment in this zone where I thought about getting in, but it was just kind of grinding. And some of these candles like this one here is only like, I don't know, 5 cents. It was just kind of grinding. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to risk it. But that would have been some great, I was watching it. There could have been some great moves in here. And there's some people that probably made pretty good money on this. But I wasn't feeling it. And I was looking for something that was popping more, like 50 cents or $1, like something we've seen like compared to last week. And I just didn't see that. The other one was OPTU. I was actually in the bath. So this is a higher float, 260 right here, but it wasn't acting like a higher float stock. Look at this. This thing it's a high float stock, goes from 66 cents up to $1.50 in 3 minutes. I was in the bathroom. Now, I don't know if I would have, because if you notice the time is 8:14, so it's in between when news is typically put out. Would it be that in this case it'd be 8 a.m. or 8:30 or top and bottom of the hour. So that's usually the sign I'm going to go to the bathroom, get some water, come back, and sometimes stock go off without me, and this is one of them. I don't know if I would have traded it just because it's a penny stock, and I've been kind of trying to stay away from penny stocks. But once it broke $1 here, pretty low too. I mean, the thing is, this candle right here, where are you? There you go. This candle here comes up and basically goes over $1 there, and then you get this nice dip. This candle goes up to $1, dips back down to like 90 cents, opens, and then breaks above $1. I might have traded this. The problem is the float's really big. And I don't know, like, if I'd have been comfortable doing it. I mean, it's safe to trade a high float stock. It just usually they don't move very much. And this one moved quite a bit, and I don't know if I would have traded it because I would have seen that float. So anyway, just something that kind of hit the scanner that I didn't end up trading, mainly because I wasn't near my computer. And then BATL right at the end of the morning session started to go. And this is a stock. I think most day traders in the last 6 months have a history with this stock, and it has made some pretty crazy moves. And I just decided in this moment that it was too close to the bell for me to take a chance on it, and I didn't want to risk it. So 9:20, 10 minutes until opening bell, and this thing made a great move from 150 up to 195 and just kind of churned its way up here. And I mean, some pretty good candles here. That's a powerful candle. It's a powerful candle, powerful candle, powerful candle, powerful candle, powerful. I mean, this is where it finally starts to weaken and make its turn with these topping tails. But up in this zone right here, all the way through here, was a great little run. I just couldn't find it in myself to hit the buy button there. And then one more, just the final one, is MTEK, which I was tempted by this stock. I was watching it. I marked off a bunch of lines. But for me, when it started to pop, which was right here at 122-ish or something like that, the 200 is at 167. So for me, it needed to be over that first of all at this range. I'm like, okay. And then I marked off where I saw this gap back in here over $2. And I'm like, okay, if it gets over the 200, which is 167, and it gets over $2, there's a gap there, and you might be able to find something between $2 and like $3. And so that's kind of what I was watching to maybe enter in on this stock. Now, it is SSR, although I don't know if it was SSR. See how this one says shortable SSR. So it's still shortable. It's just only shortable on an uptick. Or my other ones were saying hard to borrow in SSR, so you're not shorting that bad boy for the most part. Invalid shares. Did I just buy something? Try to buy something? Hopefully not. So anyway, this stock, so I don't know. I personally, I was looking for an entry, but I just could not find one I was comfortable with, because as this came up, I just wasn't sure, and then wasn't hitting that 200 EMA, and then finally on this candle, it surpasses the 200 EMA, and then I needed it to be over like $2 for me to really kind of feel I needed to hold and be over. Well, it didn't do it here. This one kind of came down. This candle opened. It did go up here, but it came down pretty quickly from that zone. So at this point, kind of when this candle formed, like, okay, I might look for a dip by here. And I just kind of kept watching, and I just, on the tape, I was not seeing an opportunity to get a pretty good dip by here. This thing just kind of kept coming down slowly, and then eventually kind of came down a little quicker. And it just did not, it did not feel right. I would see a dip. I'd see a dip down here. Plus you have this big old topping tail here. So it wouldn't have been I don't think it would have been a strong dip play for me personally, but I was looking for it. I just didn't see it, But yeah, so this thing, I mean, I'm grateful I didn't get caught up in that, because that would have been kind of an easy thing to get caught in. You take a little dip buy around VWAP and have it shoot up. But this was a little worrisome for me, because I was looking for it to hold over 2 and look strong over $2 to potentially fill that gap, and it just didn't happen. So I ended up not trading it. Anyway, we are up $41. Let's hit the main screen here. Bam, it'll show the data. The great thing about here is that we're up $42, which is great. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days in a row. And I guess I realize now it does show right here, which is calling it a personal best. I've only been tracking this data in this app since the 18th. And so it's missing a bunch of the data, and I'm just going to work on what I want this to look like. But so this information, this win rate, is only recently in the last week and a half or so. And honestly, 60% win rate, 58% win rate, I'll round up a little bit. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with 58%. Today when I'm up over 50, I personally feel like okay, especially with like a buying power of like 2K or 2,500 or whatever, something lower. I'm like, on a cash account, I'm like, I just kind of want to take 2 shots. So split the buying power up, go in once, win maybe, go in a second time, win maybe, or lose. But like, I'd like to use my win rate data when I can, where it makes sense. In this case, it makes sense. That's all going to change when we have kind of unlimited buying power-ish through the PT change coming up. But for now, sometimes that just works for me, and that was my strategy going into today, and probably why I didn't make a third trade, actually, to be honest with you. That, and I just didn't really see anything. So yeah, the count is up 30% since we started in December, which is great. And we're at a 58% win rate in the last couple of weeks. The P&L, we are up $1,283, and that is a wrap. So I'm going to work on getting my light speed set up. There is some buying power in there. Will I take a trade today? Maybe, but I might just wait until Thursday when the PDT rule changes and I have that whole thing in full effect. So we might be calling it a day today. I hope you guys were green on this Monday, and have a great week.